Hey VC, how you doing? It is doompaul once again, with another 3 record update and some other things that I got in the mail. Um, Hope y'all doing well. Um, Seems to be the thing to have a soda before this, and today I'm going with Trader Joe's ginger beer. It's good. That's about all. It's got little floaty things in it. I don't know if you can see that. I like little floaty things in my beverages. You know. So cheers. Anyway, um, got a couple of things to show you today. Um, Sorry about the video being a little bit late, but whatever. All right, so now, as I mentioned before, I'm a pretty big Jethro Tull fan, um, and so I was going through my collection, seeing what I wanted to show today, and today I'm going to show one of the it's Jethro Tull, a Passion Play. 1973. Comes with this neat little brochure inside here. The little program for the camera. I don't know how to work it. Comes with a little brochure, or the whatever you call theater things. I don't know. Listen to this. It is definitely a it's a concept album that they did in '73. Sort of over the big life and death and cyclical stuff like that. And I remember when I was sort of 18 or so, having that record and being like, not my favorite. And I actually came to the pretty much the same conclusions. Only there are parts that I thought were the parts I didn't like before, not so much now. It's the first record where they started to mess around with, at the time, were really futuristic sounds, like boo, bow, bow, and like laser sounds and stuff like that, that previously were probably technologically unavailable to them. But it really works. I would say the first half of the record is it's okay. It's definitely Ian Anderson's ego running this record for sure. And this is the first one where it's really really obvious. And there's some Jethro Tull sort of comedy in there, which I'm like meh. They have this whole story about this hare that lost its spectacles, which is fine after one listen, but because they don't break up the tracks, you end up sort of having to listen to that every time you listen to the record, and it's weird because it's more of a novelty than anything else. It's sort of a one-off joke, and it kind of puts the damper in repeated listenings to the record. Now, the second half of the record, I think, is actually pure genius. Just well written. The instrumentations, the music itself is fantastic. And well written and well thought out and everything else. And I think it really sort of hits home the concept of the life and death thing, and the whole rebirth and sort of the reincarnation thing. Goes really well. But on the first side, there's a lot of sort of goofy playing around, which it doesn't warrant repeat listens. But there are moments of genius in there, which makes it really sort of sad, because you want to listen to the whole thing, but it's hard. So 73 is still pretty early, and I remember I used to think that this must be one of their later ones because of the space sounds and the and sort of the extra progressive whateverness. But all in all, it's worth a listen for once. But Am I going to listen to this again in the next 6 months? Probably not. Side 2, maybe. Okay, so the next record, in the same vein that we're going to be talking about today, is Billy Thorpe. And this is Children of the Sun. Look at dude. Look, they even have his armpit sort of highlighted because, well, I don't know why. Actually, this was sort of a VCLT from the metal theologian who packaged this in my stuff when I was heading home, and he kind of had a half smile on his face, and I didn't know why, and it almost felt like a test, like, okay, listen to this and tell me what you think. And there's some amazing guitar playing on this. Billy Thorpe certainly could play guitar. And he could certainly write songs. He can write catchy songs. I have no idea what the actual concept of this concept album is, except for there's some Children of the Sun, and they're doing some stuff. I don't know. I can't quite figure it out, and I haven't studied the lyric sheets enough to really get into it. But I want to show you a couple of things here on the mostly this on the inner sleeve. Look at this dude. He is like, am I really on this record? Am I really on this record? And this guy here, he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand back here because Billy's all like, yeah, look at this, look what I did. The other guys are like, yeah, you did that. Anyway, and I'd like to share some of the lyrics with you, especially on this song called "Goddess of the Night." Goddess of the night, make me worthy of you. Goddess of the night, rape me. Totally, whoa, whoa. It just came across as just really strange. And the thing about Billy is he works so hard on his songs, and he's playing his heart out, and there's a lot of like, whoa, yeah, and just he is going for it, and it comes off as cheeseball, but you kind of have to appreciate it. He really is going for it. This was what year was this? 79. So, I listened to this actually twice, and I can't say I did not enjoy it. And the metal theologian says it's one of his guilty pleasures, and I completely understand why, because the songwriting is really good and really catchy and really hooky. It's just so goofball that does it hold up for repeated listens? Yes, but not for a little bit. Now, speaking of goofball, my final record of the day. My final record of the day is a band much maligned, and especially by me. I did not care for this band at all for the longest time, and I will be the first to admit it is because I did not really listen to them. I just saw their album covers, and I was just like, oh God, no. Oh God. Oh no. No. Manowar. Here's the thing. This record completely turned me around. Look at that arm. And actually, I got this from Aaron as well. And it's a promo copy. I'm pretty proud to own this. This is the best record I have listened to in the longest time, because I am 46 or 47, I forget, years old, and I can't tell you how much I just continuously listen to this now. Um, the first song alone, Death Tone. He's riding around on his motorcycle, flipping off squares. Yeah, and the rest of the record is just about just war and exploding and death, and it's amazing. It's goofball as fuck, but it's amazing. Um, I mean, and the Orson Welles bit. Oh my god! To hear Orson Welles read this story, which is just goofball, about a horse named Kill and stuff like that. It's fantastic. How can you go wrong with this? Now, so everything I've ever said bad in forums or anything else about Manowar, I completely retract, because this is a fantastic record. How can you? I don't know. And it's all about war and exploding, and I don't know what to say. And the guy's name's Ross the Boss. Hello. That's fantastic. I have to put away any sort of problems I had with the goofballness of Manowar and just sort of listen to it. Now Manowar breaks my main cardinal rule about metal, and that's singing about metal. And they do that quite often. And I've got a couple of rules about metal that I try not to break, and that's usually singing about how much metal you are and how much you're rocking. I just tend not to care for those songs. Just play the metal. Don't tell me how metal you are. But in this case, there's one song in there like that, and I'm kind of like, meh, all right. But it works with them, and I let it slide. But normally, I don't want to hear how metal you think you are, or how much you love metal, or how much. It's just not something I want to hear. But so be it. That's me. The other thing I think doesn't belong in metal is songs about vampires, because vampires are not metal. And they might have been way back in the Nosferatu days, but if you guys can actually think of some songs about vampires that are metal, that aren't stupid, let me know. But most songs about vampires in metal, stupid. Just my opinion. Anyway, I'll give you more rules as I think of them. Second thing I'm going to show you today is some books I got. Pretty fantastic. Pretty excited. I found them all for a penny on Amazon. I just had to pay shipping, which was really cool. The first one is the New Rock Record book. In this book, you will find this. I don't know if this is going to pick it up. It's really not. That's what you get when you spend $30 on a camera. No autofocus. But it's pretty much the internet in a book. I'm not sure if it was before the internet came out, but it's a fantastic way to find out what got released, when it got released, who was on it, what instruments they played. I don't know how much I'm actually going to be using this book, because there's easier ways to do it now with like Discogs and just the internet in general. But just the fact that this guy compiled this is flooring. Terrence Hounsome. Just the labor of love that went into this book. I got this more for my collection than anything else. The second book I got was the Prog Rock Frequently Asked Questions by Will Romano, whatever. And I guess there's a big series of these Frequently Asked Questions book. Nice stuff, pictures, everything else. It doesn't seem to have a lot of cohesion. It just seems to go from, frequently asked question to frequently asked question. And I've only just barely touched sort of reading it. Pretty interesting stuff, though. Looking forward to reading this. The final book I got, The Billboard Guide to Progressive Music. Probably the worst cover I've ever seen in my life. Now, this book, it really, I flipped it open and it started with, like, Henry Cow, which, is a band I like, and I was like, oh, well, wow, that's really cool. And, this I'm really looking forward to reading as well, and increasing my knowledge. Now, the thing about this book that blew me away was the author. Now, I don't know anything about this guy, and everything it looks like he wrote looks fantastic. But check out dude. Check him out. That's right. That's Bradley Smith. That's Bradley Smith. And of course he dedicated the book to his mother, which I thought was quite quaint. This book is dedicated to my dear and beloved mother, who has been my greatest friend and teacher, and who has always stood by me in times of trial. Well, that's nice. That's so nice. Anyway, this is a fantastic book, and it covers a bunch of stuff I didn't know anything about. Also got some stuff in here that I wouldn't necessarily consider prog, but I don't know a lot. I'll be the first to admit it. So, really happy to have that. And I guess that's all I have for you today. And I'm looking at it, and this is a pretty long video. It's probably the longest I've ever done. So, apologize for that. But had a lot of stuff to show you. So, thoughts, comments, subscribe, whatever. You know the deal. Happy to be talking to a lot of you guys on the VC. Happy to be part of this whole thing. It's actually, I'm having a lot of fun with it, learning a lot. And so anyway, cheers to y'all, and talk to you next week.